That's the favorite. The favorite is a baseline of 6, and we'll see how much longer he wants to play past that. He is going to become the NBA's all-time leading scorer in a Lakers uniform, probably as the defending champs. He's going to pass Magic Johnson in assists in a Lakers uniform. He already has the most All-NBA first teams and the most All-NBA appearances and all of that, and the most everything in playoff history. And he's going to get to continue setting these records. He'll end up with the most finals appearances as well, of course. He's going to get to continue setting these records while wearing a uniform of the greatest franchise in NBA history, and alongside a guy who is himself trying to ratchet up the list of best big men in NBA history, and I would argue in an era, as far as Anthony Davis goes, where it's a hell of a lot harder to move, or a hell of a lot easier, I should say, to move up that list, because it's not in the era of great big men anymore. Like Broussard, I'm working on this NBA project of the best 50 players last 50 years, and you look at, it's like, man, Ewing, okay, he only made one finals as the best player, but he had to go through Robinson and Olajuwon and all the bigs, and then Shaq comes in the league, and Dikembe's there. What are the bigs AD's got to worry about? It's Jokic in his conference. That's it. And out east, if he gets it together, Embiid. That's it. And so I think this sets up perfectly, Brandon, for LeBron to continue adding to his trophy case and for the Lakers to continue adding to theirs.
Nick, you're not far off, buddy. And sometimes we have this conversation, or a lot of these conversations in sports, without giving the why behind it, like the number one reason. For me, the number one reason is because LeBron's ability to evolve, to adapt. There's some players that don't have the IQ, the mindset, the physical trait, attributes to be able to evolve into something that they weren't. Some guys just play the position or play a sport one way. It reminds me of some cases in the NFL. Charles Woodson going from a shutdown, lockdown corner to then transitioning to safety and becoming an all-pro safety and playing 15, 16 years. Larry Fitzgerald playing outside, being one of the greatest receivers the game has ever seen, and now pretty much transitioning to a tight end role where he's blocking now, and he loves it, and he's getting grindy, and he's still catching 80 balls, 90 balls a year. So when you think about the why, Chris, LeBron James has that ability in the next 2-3 years, and you talked about it a few segments ago, to be able to say, you know what, AD, now it's your turn to lead from a physical standpoint. LeBron James has that. He's Magic Johnson. He's a point guard, and he's so savvy. He can sit back and be the distributor on the court and still win a championship or 2 or 3. So I love this for the Lakers, and I love this for LeBron, because you know it's all about chasing Michael Jordan and getting to the 6.
Well, you mentioned Michael Jordan. Look, I'm not where Nick is yet, that he's definitely getting 6. I think he definitely gets one more championship. If he can win it this year and then go for the 3-peat, that would be a huge accomplishment. But what this does, look, I think Michael Jordan's peak was better than LeBron. I think Michael Jordan was a better player than LeBron. But LeBron has the opportunity to make his resume so good, so great, that it will be hard to deny him the GOAT status if indeed he continues to play at this level for the next few years. Say he gets 6 or 7 championships. That would be what, 12 or 13 appearances in the finals. If he's the leading scorer all time, top 5 assists. I'm just saying, it's like Tom Brady.
You're getting there.
Well, the difference is you're saying he's the GOAT when he's not the GOAT right now. I'm saying if he does these things,
you'll get to me eventually.
If he does these things, look, Tom Brady's not the best passer of the football we've ever seen. We all know that. But because of his accomplishments, and he's still a very good passer and has very good individual seasons, statistically, we say he's the GOAT. It could be the same thing with LeBron if they go ahead and win. Now, Nick thinks it's just going to be easy. They show up, they win championships. I'm not so sure of that. I would bet he gets 5 rather than 6, but he's got a really good chance to get 6 and possibly even 7.
There you go, 7.
7.
What?
All right,
I mean,
what
the only
say
thing,
you?
Possibly.
the only thing more off balance than these
But I'm
takes
betting
is my
5.
tie. The takes have thrown my tie into disarray, and I can't get it right. Brandon has given him 3 rings. Now, Broussard's got him at 7 total. So this has got him. That means AD would also have 3 rings at that point, which would make him better than Shaq in a Lakers uniform, or tied with Shaq. But then he would be young, so maybe he would sign a new extension and keep on going. This is all after they just signed contracts. They've only won 1 ring. So allow me, who's supposed to be like the wild guy on the show. That's why I'm named Wild. It's a stage name, everyone. It's not my real name. But like, I'm the only one in the real world who, like, they won 1 ring. And Nick, I know you love your guy Luka, and I know you think Giannis is good. If LeBron's eating up all these rings, then your buddy Harden never gets a ring, and everyone else has to take a back seat. It affects other people's legacies too. And I feel like sometimes you're like, well, Harden deserves this, and Giannis is going to get this, and Luka's going to get this. Not if AD and LeBron are eating up all the rings.
Okay, I'm not talking about for the next decade. I'm talking about for the next 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Lakers winning 2 of the next 3 and possibly 3 of the next 4. That's what I'm saying.
Then Harden's
and
cooked.
I think right now, well, listen, Harden's got 2 years left on his deal. He's made almost $500 million playing basketball, got another couple hundred million from Adidas. He's from Southern California. Maybe he'll be one of those veterans that wants to join up with the Lakers to try to peel a ring later in his career. Who knows? What I do know is this: Luka's time will come. Giannis's time will come, and those 2 guys will battle in a bunch of finals, hopefully in Dallas and Milwaukee. But before that time comes, LeBron's time is still here. It's been going on for
Chris,
a decade. It's now going to be pushed for another few years. I'm just telling you, that's how this is going to go. And the person who woke up this morning, Broussard, to the worst news is actually Kevin Durant, because his time is ticking. And this was supposed to be his year with the Nets, and you find me someone that's picking the Nets to win the title. I know Broussard probably has Clippers Nets in a battle for the championship, something like that. But okay, Brandon Marshall's got the Nets up there, but
It is
this
not
is
going to be
House.
simple.
Let's go, Brooklyn. Let's go.
Nick,
it's gonna be pretty simple.
Again, bet
gonna be pretty
LeBron
simple.
will probably get 5 rings. He's got a shot at 6. But you think this is going to be way too easy. It wasn't easy last year, and it certainly won't be easy.